New York City's newly sworn-in district attorney is ordering prosecutors not to seek prison sentences for a slew of crimes and also to downgrade charges, including robberies, commercial burglaries, and drug dealing offenses. Critics are blasting the DA, Alvin Bragg's new policy, calling it soft on crime. And it also flies in the face of New York new Mayor Adams, his pledge to take a tough stance on crime. Joining me now, retired NYPD homicide detective Bill Cannon and criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Randy Zellin. Mr. Cannon, let's start with you. I'm wondering how this is going over in New York, and I thought the mayor was going to tighten the screws there on crime.
I think it's being viewed as lunacy. When you talk about robbery first degree, which is a Class B felony, and as long as no one is hurt, someone can display a firearm, but as long as no one's hurt, they can plead that down to a petty larceny. I mean, it's just, it defies any kind of logic.
What is the logic?
That's his position on this.
Bill?
Well, it's something called decarceration. They don't want to put people in jail, and they don't want to put people in prison. And that is their whole goal. And the thing that he really has, which is so misguided and such an out-and-out blatant lie, he says these policies will make us safer. That is an out-and-out lie. As safe as Chicago? As safe as Baltimore? As safe as San Francisco? How safe?
Randy, as a former prosecutor who's worked for a DA, what do you think of this?
Well, as a defense attorney, obviously, I'm thrilled anytime I have the opportunity to reduce a client's exposure. While I practice predominantly white-collar criminal law, the defense bar is the defense bar. But as a human being, as a citizen, as a former prosecutor, as a husband, as a father, I agree with Billy. And by the way, hello, Billy. It's been a long time. The truth of the matter is, Billy is absolutely right, because deterrence, preventing the next Randy Zellin from committing a crime, it's a two-headed monster. One, there's got to be certainty that I'm going to get caught. Two, there's got to be certainty that I'm going to be punished. We just threw the punishment right out. And the same way one size justice doesn't fit all when we're hard on crime, it's equally just as bad to have one size fits all justice to be soft on crime. Give the prosecutor the discretion. It may very well be that a robbery is an overblown petty larceny, but a robbery could be a robbery.
Bill, you brought up a number of cities there, Baltimore for one, and I know a number of cities have tried this, where they've stopped prosecuting low-level cases. And I know in one headline I saw today, it didn't necessarily make it more dangerous, but will it make it safer? And the jury was still out on this, at least in Baltimore and other cities that are trying it. Is the thought maybe that they need to focus more on the more serious crimes, as Randy's pointed out here?
You know, if there's no deterrence in the law, then criminals are emboldened to ply their trade, which is, it's their trade. If there's no punishment, they're going to keep doing it. Look, we've seen these smash and grabs in all these large cities. And if there's not going to be any prosecution, if there's not going to be the threat of jail time, then what is going to deter criminals from doing that? You know, I grew up on the NYPD with, you know, the broken windows style policing, which over a 30-year period dropped crime in New York City 70% in the 7 major crimes. That, you know, you can point to that as something that really works. I want to see if Alvin Bragg can point to statistics other than he's pointing to 2 Texas, the study was done in Texas, I believe, these 2 academics who are always trying to prove their statistics correctly, and they're woke and they're progressives to begin with. So of course they're going to try to prove it, but I want to see does this actually work? I don't think it does.
Let's see, Randy, quickly. You've worn several hats. If you were the DA, would you do this?
No, I would not do this. I would give my prosecutors the discretion, but I certainly wouldn't announce to the world day one, we're going to take it easy on criminals, because certainly that is not going to keep any of us safer.
All right. Retired NYPD homicide detective Bill Cannon and criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor Randy Zellin. Good to see you both. Thank you.
Thank you.